Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Canada Guns Talk Show, episode 46. Summer lovin', got my AR. I'm your host, the Crover. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
And we have a totally not action-packed show today. We are back from the holidays. I'm back from the holidays. Did any of you go on holidays? What have you guys been up to for the last 3 weeks? Crazy. Go.
Okay, I'm going on holidays in August, but other than that, I haven't gone on holidays. My guns had an encounter with one of the two biggest enemies of guns. Unfortunately, I had an infestation of politicians in my safe recently. Every time I'd open the door, they'd yell at me about how terrible of a person I am. But I managed to get them all to leave by telling them I'd expose their email accounts publicly. But no, I had a bunch of guns rust. It's been humid as fuck here in Toronto because it's been like raining and my roof's been leaking. So I had like my SVT rusted, my GP100 rusted, my Mosin rusted, and my Bowser rusted. And my SVT rusted pretty fucking bad. And then after cleaning it, I checked back on it a week later and it's starting to rust again in the same fucking places. So I have to go and take it. I had to go and take it and clean it again because I didn't want it to keep fucking rusting. This is really pissing me the fuck off. Other than that, I went shooting my Canadian guns on Canada Day. I went up to the range with my AR because it's Canadian, and my dad's 22 because it's Canadian, and shot Canadian guns to celebrate being Canadian. Let's see if I can say Canadian one more time. Yeah, other than that, not much else gun-related has been done in the last 3 weeks because I have no ammo. That's it.
I know. I was just getting something. Elixir, what have you been up to for these last 3 weeks? Did you go on vacation?
No, I did nothing but work and trim some brass and reloaded 50 rounds. That's really it.
How long does reloading take for you? Because I know you're like precision and shit.
50 rounds, 1 to 2 hours usually.
Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
So you got it down pretty well?
Yeah, once I get everything in a rhythm, then I'm able to actually crank them out.
Right on, right on. That takes us to Senor Jenner Pants.
Hello. What have I been up to?
Change the scenery.
Yeah. My wife was kind of tired of how all my stuff was stacking up out in the open where people could see it. So got a room where we can close all this gun stuff away from prying eyes and little fingers and stuff like that. Slowly moving in, realized how much shit I have. Found a couple shotguns and 22s I forgot I owned. That's always interesting. What have I been up to, though? We had Chaz 3-gun on Saturday. So I actually RO'd and designed the shotgun-only stages. Got some good feedback on that. We had a shotgun wedding type stage and another stage all shot off of a bucket seat and through a truck door rigged up onto a wobbly platform. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I ended up, I shot that match as well, came in second in TAC Ops, mainly because Adriel was not there. So the competition wasn't quite as fierce and some of the better guys got disqualified.
What?
Yeah, so guys that would normally be in contention with me were disqualified. So it's not necessarily how I wanted to get second, but I will take it.
Why'd they get disqualified?
One of these stages had where you had to start with a rifle going prone through a VTAC board. And just the way the ground was, or maybe their holsters weren't tight enough or whatever, it happened to 2 different guys. They got up and their pistol was on the ground. And if you don't know, in 3-gun, if you drop a gun, you are immediately disqualified. So even if you're laying on the ground and it falls out while you're laying there, that's still a dropped gun. Other than that, I went to Bashaw Sports. I posted about it in the sub. People got salty. $900 VZ58, never been fired, brand new in the box. So
I'll give you a
bastard.
couple packs of darts and a Mickey a Smirnoff for it.
yeah, so I got that thing. Still haven't shot it yet. I might just hold on to it in unfired condition for now, but I bought the little SA adapter to run AR-15 mags in it if I so decide.
Don't you have to Dremel the receiver a little to make those fit?
The instructions didn't look like you had to, but I'm not
Rather
sure.
had my boy grab one for me.
But
Adriel.
other than that, I got this in the mail. That's an F1 receiver.
One on.
Just
Buenas noches.
Hi, Adriel.
Guten Nacht.
Oh, you got a short one around you somewhere. Huh?
Salut. Hasta luego. Bonne nuit.
Oh.
Wiedersehen.
Look, we have
Ciao.
visitors.
Ciao again.
Yeah, that too.
And I have an alarm, Michelle.
Ciao again.
That's like
Did I say it right?
you're annoying me.
Hi,
Oh,
guys.
Yeah. Well, it says on my mic.
I recognize one of those people.
Go, it's off.
That's Chad. Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if
Hi.
anyone can actually hear any of us talking.
Adriel, can you hear us?
Janitor pants.
Yep.
Where
That's
children,
what he is on Reddit.
where children are not allowed to go.
Adriel, can you hear us?
Here.
I'm gonna have to call him.
So it'll crack up.
Oh, he froze.
Did he?
He did, and your video's gone.
Oh no, I know. I just I have to take the video out for a second. Where the hell is Adriel? Calling. Hey, in the meantime, Chad, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just, I got an F1 receiver in the mail this week. So that is the skeletonized fancy-ass race gun.
Hey, dude, we see you, and the camera was working. Oop.
Grover, we can hear you. There we go. He's muted his mic now.
Yeah, so putting that together, F1 receiver. I can't remember what this base is. Tyrant Designs grip. I got a Trigger Tech adjustable drop-in trigger for it. Raptor charging handle. Some kind of Rainier fancy, shiny, slippery bolt. A VG6 brake for it. Faxon 18.5-inch barrel. That's kind of
Oh, you didn't buy the carbon fiber barrel.
Come
No,
on, man.
I didn't do that. But yeah, this will be my first rifle-length gas AR. I'm curious to see how she runs when she's all done. But the handguard that I bought is going to be at least another 45 days. I had to import it from the States. So,
You couldn't find it, eh?
Well, the handguard. Oh, that's a different one I was looking for. That's for my 10.5-inch. No,
Yeah.
I ordered one of those Brigand arms. They're like a braided carbon fiber cage.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there's only one company that makes those. They're pretty unique looking. This thing's basically going to be a high-speed load rag cheese grater.
Adriel Rodriguez wants to know what the weight savings is on that receiver set.
Actually, it is heavier than some of the lightweight receivers. I just went mainly for aesthetics, but the rest of the stuff on this is pretty lightweight. That barrel's only 2 pounds. Even like the nut I've got for my buffer tube and the end plate, those are like a quarter of the weight of a standard one. The handguard I'm getting is only 4 ounces and another 2 for the nut. So it'll be interesting to see. It's supposed to be a real soft shooting gun with the rifle length gas and the rifle length buffer.
How long is the barrel?
18 inches.
Ooh, long barrel.
You know,
Have you tested how well it grates cheese onto your tacos?
well, I don't have it together yet. I thought it was only fair to have it all in one piece before I started grating cheese with it. We'll find out. But,
So what made you choose that trigger tech? I mean,
I've got a Geisley Super 3 gun, and I really like it. And I just wanted to see. I mean, Trigger Tech is supposed to be really good. It's adjustable. It looks like I can take this down to 1 pound if I want to.
ooh, lad.
but I just wanted to compare it. Trigger Tech being a Canadian company, I mean, I'd love to support them. If it's a great trigger, it's great. If not, I will sell it and buy another Geisley. But we'll see. I'm curious. I haven't played with it yet. I literally just got it in here. I still have to tighten it down.
Yeah, the pins will fall out unless you tighten the body.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a unique setup for sure. But
yeah, why don't you show people?
I don't know if you'll be able to see that. So yeah, you've got your standard.
Angle it just a little bit so you get the sheen. There it is.
There it is. You can see the normal pins there like you would have on any standard trigger. But when you go inside, because this is a frictionless trigger, still, yeah, you can't really see there. Normally your J-springs on your trigger pack hold your trigger in. Those pins have those slots in it that it sits on it. This doesn't because it's one complete sealed unit. So there's actually, you probably can't see them, there's 2 tiny screws in there. They're like a grub screw, but you tension those down and it basically just torques this whole thing so it can't move. So that's, I haven't torqued it down yet. I literally just popped this in as the show is starting. Other than that, what's cool about this F1 receiver, this piece here for your bolt release is a threaded screw, so you don't have to hammer the shit out of your receiver and scratch it all up.
Oh, thank Christ.
And it came with the takedown pins already installed, and I'm looking at that. I'm not even 100% sure how they've done that. They must have some kind of jig to do it. Yeah,
so
it's a neat little piece of kit for sure.
They don't have the little holes on the back and the front?
Nope, they do not. So not sure how they did it. It all came together. It mates up even tighter than anything I've ever experienced so far.
No play at all?
Ours are slop, none. In fact, there's a little spring to it, and it comes in a cool little case like this.
Oh, look at that. That's adorable.
Yeah, that makes it worth the price right there, doesn't it?
Huh. Hey, that counts as safe storage. You just got to put a trigger lock on that.
That's right, yeah.
Adriel, I don't know if you can hear us, but you can get your lower third working if you want.
Oh, yeah. What are we using for lower thirds these days?
The lower third is back.
The lower third is back.
Toolbox.
It should be there. In the meantime, I shall talk about what I did in the last couple of weeks. Folks, I gotta tell you, it is complete. The lawn crowbar has been finally put together.
How patriotic.
Yep, the lawn crowbar. It's a long Crove AR, like Krover. It's an incredibly stupid name, and it amuses me only myself, so whatever. Lawn crowbar, that's right. It's done. It's done. I really cannot say that I have to do anything else with this. I might put a bipod on it. I might not, but I don't think I will. Depending. No grip pods. Those are abominations. Adriel, you played with a grip pod once, didn't you?
Yeah, the Fab Defense G2. That wasn't really a grip pod. That was more of like a 4-in that had like a bipod on there. I got Trevor and Matthew here from Slamfire as well.
Hello, Slamfire people.
What's up, boys?
Not much. We just got started.
Trevor,
What?
how's that magazine working for you?
The very best, Chad. Thanks, brother.
That's not Chad. That's Chris.
Close enough. Thought I got from Chad.
Yeah, he's the guy that told you about mill surplus at one time.
Thanks, Chris. Too many beers. Too many people.
They've been going since about 3 a.m.
4 a.m.
Well, our time though.
Oh yeah,
2
your
a.m.
time. Yeah, 2 a.m. your time.
Ooh, that is that's early.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Hey, are you guys just hanging out with Adriel for the weekend or what?
Well, we're up for Matthew and I are going to teach Ferlacci handgun fundamentals on Saturday and beyond fundamentals on Sunday. And then Monday, they're going to take me to Calgary, and I stay in Calgary for the week for the ITIC Nationals. I'm working the match as a chief range officer. So I'll shoot the pre-match and then work the main match as an official, and then fly home.
Sounds
All
eventful.
right. All right. So I was just told that apparently I'm super loud, so I'm backing off my mic a little bit. Is that better?
You
I
might
think
have to
it's
go into
the mic sensitivity. The mic sensitivity is too high, and it's clipping.
All right. I'll try and calm myself down a little bit. I am very excited about this stupid thing. Just like Jenner, I stuck in this rifle a Trigger Tech trigger. It is the non-adjustable combat trigger, which has a very interesting two-stage. It has a 0.75 pound first stage and a 2.75 pound second stage. So there is just an itty bitty little bit of take up. That's nice and light, and then, whew, gotta tell you, it's a nice trigger, folks. The reset is ridiculous, and ooh, it just goes off whenever you want it to.
It'd be a bit nicer if it was single stage.
Yeah, well, fuck you. So how about that?
I just
Cash
put
me
this in
outside.
and tried it. This is like, it feels like half the weight of that Geisley Super 3 gun. I actually think I might add some weight to this.
Holy shit! Seriously?
It's ridiculous.
Both
It
flat
feels
triggers
about-
add the whole illusion of a lighter trigger.
It feels about as light as the trigger on my Highway Patrolman in single stage.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Oh yeah, like almost illegal. Cool.
Well, if you look at it the wrong way, the gun will go off by itself.
Isn't that what we're always told? That's why I have to keep this chunk of aluminum locked in the safe.
That's right. And I had an interesting experience, as you can see, thanks to Kleeman from CanadaGuns. The stock is now as patriotic as it gets. This is Duracoat. This is awesome. It was stenciled on. Kleeman has a stencil printer, and we got the decals out. Spent an afternoon in a small room getting really lightheaded with the fumes.
What's your name?
And yeah, it's not the only thing we painted. There is another thing. Chad's got a preview of it. Have you, yeah, you're the only one that's seen it, right, Chad?
I just saw the base coat. I didn't see the rest of it.
Let's see. Let's see what the impression is from a third party, because I love it. Chad, what did you think about that base coat?
It's interesting.
Did you see the second coat?
I was told what it was, and I'm very curious to see what it will look like. It kind of sounds like it could be amazing, or look like something my dog puked up out in the yard.
It's I would say you're square in the middle between those 2 points.
Perfect.
Amazing puke, I would say. Hold up a second, I gotta kill my camera. Hey, Adriel, why don't you tell us what you've been up to this last 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Adriel!
Yeah, what? Sorry?
It's your turn to tell us what you've been doing for the last 3 weeks.
I made an AR. It's got a different stock on it now. We found one that fit today. So that's something. Yeah, there we go. And it's green.
Ooh, green's my favorite color.
Yeah. So now I guess I should get some green ladder covers and a green grip, or paint a green.
No.
Yeah.
Go pink.
Get Kleeman to paint it for you. He's really good at it.
Is he?
Get him to paint him pink.
Yeah.
I agree.
If you want to have it Cerakoted, then it would be just buy one.
Oh, fuck yeah. Don't even need to get it Cerakoted. You just buy your own paint and do it yourself.
Head down the crappy tire, buy a rattle can, and just...
Yeah, just rattle can that shit.
Buy it. I already got paint. I don't think I got OD green. I got tan. Maybe I'll just paint everything tan.
Just dip the entire gun in a barrel of tan paint.
I got a Sharpie here. We could paint this guy black. Not even my joke. That's not this. But what did I do this week? I was at the charity shoot last week. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was at the charity shoot with these guys.
Winning.
Winning.
Yeah, winning. We were winning.
Wow, you won something.
You won.
And you won something. And you won something.
Yeah.
We're at a charity shoot in Guelph, Ontario. We were shooting guns and getting sun and drinking beers. Yeah, pretty much. What else we do? Okay, so like realistically, there were 5 stages. I got first on one. Trevor got first on one and third on another. Matthew got first on overall. And I don't know, we won a bunch of stuff. I got a GoPro mount, and I got some SKS stuff. So
Oh, sweet. Is that going to go on your gun?
And Trevor won a shotgun from S&J, fully decked out 870.
Oh.
870
Oh,
close.
It's actually a Cincinnati.
Oh.
I know.
Wait, what?
It's a combination of an S&J Hardware and Canadian Gunworks project. So they've got some of the like gold tin dipping on some of the parts that they do, and then
they do nice work.
the Cerakote. It's got a magpul stock on it, 6 shell caddy on the side, sights. What else is done to it? But yeah,
Is it a ghost ring sight arrangement?
what's that?
Is it a ghost ring sight arrangement?
It's actually a blade and a notch.
Really?
Yeah.
The notch is way at the back. It's really weird. The notch actually kind of ghosts out like a ghost ring would, but it's only half a ghost ring. So it's kind of weird.
And it's into the rail. So if I want to replace it, I got to swap out the whole rail. But it's kind of just begging for a little red dot. So so they had 2 shotguns to give away. And they had these containers, right? Little glass jars. So you bought 50-50 tickets. And you ripped them in half, and you put a ticket in every glass jar that you wanted to have a chance to win. So when I noticed that one of the shotguns wasn't an actual 870, I started piling them into this other jar, thinking it was an 870 until I won it. And
It wasn't an 870.
it wasn't an 870. It's a Cincinnati. When they prepped the receiver for the Cerakote, they pretty much removed the serial number. We had to photograph it with a high-def camera and blow the picture up to figure out what the serial number was.
Huh.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
It's there. Yeah, it's there. So, anyway, it's fantastic. It's got a great trigger, super smooth action.
Yeah.
Right on, right on.
Yeah. Matthew won your wife won
My wife won a big
AR 500 steel gong.
550.
550.
Ooh, so what can you shoot at that? Can you actually shoot 50 at it?
Like 22. Definitely 22.
Yep.
Guns, pellets,
50
probably.
BMG, 20 millimeter.
Basically whatever you want.
Those depleted uranium rounds they fire out of the Warthogs.
But yeah, 338 Lapua at the right distance.
Huh. Right on. Like, how thick is it?
Half inch?
Half, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, shit. Half an inch?
Yeah, but it's
You
like
can-
it's like a half size. Picture a IDPA target or USPSA.
Yeah, there's a... God, what the hell's the name of that? It's D28s, is it?
I'm not sure.
I think that's the term for that size target. I know what you're talking about. It's the half size man target.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, that's sweet.
Yeah, that was a good prize.
Shit, yeah.
They had a really good prize table.
Yeah, I was trying to get people out saying like this has got a killer prize table, and not many people came out. Now, like I put a minimum amount of money in, and I got some really good stuff. Like this GoPro mount is steel. It's offset, so it doesn't get in the way of a scope. So I'll be able to, I don't know, like with GoPro on there, that SKS stuff, like that's probably $50 to $100. That SKS stuff was definitely 100 plus.
Wait, you got SKS stuff?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We should talk after.
Is it
how much Jewel put in, but you got that stuff.
She basically put all her tickets in that one. That's what she wanted. She wanted that gone. She loved shooting steel. She's like, I want that.
Shooting
Put all your
steel's
tickets in. Yeah, she did. She wanted it.
I took out $100 and with my $40 registration. The rest was spent on reshoots on the plate rack and the prize table.
So you spent $10 on the prize table?
No, I spent $40.
That's one stage you could just put money in and reshoot as many times as you want to, and Trevor spent a lot of
you wanted that high score. You wanted it.
I wanted it, yeah. And then it was actually 50-50. So they raised $300 and I got half of it.
Oh shit, man, that's
Yeah, but he didn't even keep his half. He's like all gentlemanly and donated it to the charity.
Whatever, man. I wanted it. It was mine to do with what I wanted.
Did you at least get a tax receipt?
They asked me if I wanted tax receipt. I was like, I don't pay tax, so don't worry about it.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I mean, Yeah, that's if that's how you roll, that's how you roll.
Oh, dirty man.
And oh yeah, shit, I didn't finish. I think I had to go away for a second, but what I did do is, as you can see, this Nikon Pro Staff 7 just has the factory scope covers. So I went looking, found the right size scope covers, and then went to my local gun store and tried them on, saw the price, giggled, and left. And I went online and I found them for cheaper online. And in the process, I also found grips for my 44 Magnum. And Adriel, you're going to be really happy. This is getting replaced for a bright red one.
You know what? We found those at Tier 1 today for $27 Canadian.
Where? Which? What?
Tier 1 Armory.
And they had the regular extended and a super extended.
Yeah.
Tier 1 Armory.
They're in the South Edmonton. They got a shitty website, but they've got a whole whack of AR parts. And they had those as $27. I was like, oh man, I wish I bought those rather than Brownells, because the Brownells ones were.
Oh my goodness, that is an awful website.
Yes, but the AR stuff.
Is there even anything to click on it?
No.
You might have to call them or send someone or something.
Yeah, he wants you to go. He told us my website sucks on purpose. I want you to come in or call.
Well, all right. I mean,
Seems like a bad philosophy in this day and age.
that's. I mean, you know what? That's how he rolls. So, I think we lost Adriel.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they are kaput. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, there you are. You're back. Wait. Yeah, you're back. Hi, guys.
Everyone in the comments in the YouTube stream is just going, "What kind of website is this?"
Yep. That website is getting more traffic today than it has gotten in a long time.
Probably.
But yeah,
like it's out of the '90s, but it's still shit.
I mean, it looks like it's relatively new. It's just that nobody paid anybody to do anything but make it. Just it exists. That's what it does.
It's a splash page or nothing else.
What was that, Adrian?
It's been like that for 2 years.
Oh well, there you go. I guess if that's how, like I was saying, that's how they roll. That's how they roll. Yeah, there's going to be Butler Creek scope covers on the Pro Staff 7, bright red mag release, and some nice comfy grips for my 44 Magnum for my dank spicy loads. And oh shit! Also, hey Chad,
Yeah.
I may have just picked up a brand new Geissele Super Single Action Enhanced for $280 shipped.
That's okay deal, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly about it because the guy was like, "Yep, yeah, no, I'll throw in shipping for $280." I'm like, "Okay, is it used?" And he said, "Doesn't look like it. Hammer doesn't have anything on it. Pins look unused." So I asked for pictures, and the hammer doesn't have anything on it, and the pins look unused. So if I save almost $100 on the Geissele, I guess I'll save almost $100 on the Geissele. At the end of the day, I can probably flip it for like $325 or something. But yeah, other than that, does anyone have anything else about the last 3 weeks that they'd like to bring up now before we move on to news?
I shot. I forgot to mention that when I went shooting Canada today, I shot my AR at 200 for the first time. And what glass do you have? Or do you have iron skin? I got a Nikon M223 in 3-12 on it. So I sighted it in with, because I ran out of ammo. I had to go and buy some of that shitty Barnaul stuff and use that, and use a lot of it because why not? But shot it at 200, and I went out shooting with Deeves, and he brought a 1-foot steel gong. And we hung it up at the 200 mark at Silverdale, and just at first we tried with his SVT and my Mosin to hit it with iron sights, and that just did not work at all. So they're like, all right, let's take the AR out, expanded the grip pod out, and just rested it there. And at one point, I managed to hit all 10 of the shots in the LAR mag on it at 200, and I was just like, yes. One thing I learned is that Barnaul ammo does not drop to 200 yards. It's literally still point of impact or point of aim.
Yeah. American Eagle 55 grain full metal jacket, just the regular bulk stuff. That also has pretty much no drop between 100 and 200.
But Remington has a shitload of drop. Like Remington UMC, when I was shooting out of my Howa, it had a ton of drop at 200.
Did it? Or does it?
Yeah.
I haven't noticed that actually. I don't think I've actually. I really haven't shot that UMC shit at 200. So
I mean, I was down to the second drop rung, not on my AR. This was in my Howa. I was on the second drop line in the scope already, out at 200, and I was just like, Jesus Christ.
That's a drop.
Yeah,
that's a drop. I guess since you brought it, what's that, chat?
I was going to ask if he's still running that that trigger he had from the TA.
No, not in the AR. No, I replaced that on Boxing Day.
It's just going to say that trigger would cause 2 feet of drop just by how far you have to pull.
No, this was in my bolt action, my Howa 1500, that it was getting like 2 feet of fucking drop with the Remington ammo.
Janitor, what stock are you putting on that rifle there?
That is a Luth AR MB4.
Oh, that's sexy. How much are those?
I don't remember. I could check real quick. I got it from Cowboy Tactical Supply.
200, 300 probably.
Yeah, none of this stuff was cheap. I actually took that. I was doing some arbitrage. Well, the Bitcoin prices were going crazy the last couple of weeks, and I basically built a $2,000 AR for free.
What does that mean?
That'll do.
Yeah, so the smart thing to do would have been to just keep that money, but I figured it's free money anyhow. Why not?
Why not, indeed? And I don't think. Have you mentioned what the intended purpose of that rifle is? You said it was a high-speed, low-drag build.
I just wanted a rifle-length gas, but on a light rifle. I've got carbine or like pistol-length ARs, and I keep hearing how smooth shooting they are. So I thought I'm going to try this.
So you're drinking the Kool-Aid that Adriel has been distributing.
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. I am going to mention, since Crazy brought it up, I did go shooting, actually, not during Canada Day. I went shooting before Canada Day in Vic, and then after Canada Day on the 2nd when I managed to make my way down to Calgary. And we went out on the bush, and we plinked, we shot some clays, and I installed a scope on my buddy's Remington 597, the one that Adriel bought for me in Edmonton and then took down to Calgary for my friend. This was an interesting transaction. And it was a lot of fun trying to put a scope on a rifle on a folding table in the middle of the forest. But I can confidently say that it was pretty good in terms of leveling, and it was hitting all right, even though the scope was very cheap, and I ended up having to use 2 pieces of wood to actually rotate the elevation adjustment. It seemed to get stuck if you cranked it down, so I accidentally cranked it down too much, and the only way it would move is if I kept cranking it down more and more and more. So that was a really cheap scope. I think it was one of those Bushnell takeoff scopes that came with Savage Axis at some point.
Question.
Yes.
Did that particular 597 have a rail on it, or did you just mount the rings directly to the receiver with those narrow 22 rings?
Who is that question addressed to?
You.
Me? Can you repeat it? It's just your connection is a bit wonky, so can you? Yeah, it's Adriel. Blame Adriel entirely for that.
I totally will. It's not my house. I'm not taking the money for the crappy Wi-Fi. Screw him.
Yeah, this what's on the AR right now is
not the AR. The 597 you were just talking about mounting a scope on.
Ah, okay. Yeah, what I did for that 597 was I believe either it has a rail on it or definitely because that 597 model has a heavy barrel, so it has no sights. Therefore, I am confident in saying that it has an integrated rail on the spine of the receiver, and therefore I mounted rings directly to the receiver.
All right, cool. Yeah, I've got a 597 that used to be a VTR model that wanted to be looking AR thing. And it's got a rail on it too. I got a Nikon P22 rimfire scope on it, but I can't get enough eye relief with the rail that's on it. So I was wondering if you bought an aftermarket rail. I'm trying to figure out where to get one.
I know.
Really, you don't get enough eye relief?
Scope.
No. Sure, if you're in one position on on a bench, but this is going to be my Appleseed rifle, so sometimes.
And you don't want grand style sights for Appleseed?
No. I'm going to use a scope for sure.
Hey, did any of us shoot riflemen?
Yeah, smartasses. Everyone but me. You're a jerk. Shut your face. He wants to show us his target.
Not to point it out, but somebody sounds salty.
27. Eat a bag of dicks. Go away.
Have you thought of taking the rail off and using the 3/8 dovetail on the receiver instead underneath it?
Well, the rail actually goes about 1/4 of an inch past that. So I gotta try to find some kind of rail. I need to bring the scope further back away from the receiver, so I need to find some kind of 597 rail that.
Have you maybe considered a long eye relief scope?
Yeah, but that's going to cost a lot more than a rail.
Or one of those sets of rings that's got the extension on it to kind of shove it back or forward on the rings there.
Yeah, that would be an option too.
Because I know with my 597
actually,
combo and the scope that it came with has fine eye relief.
I mean, this is a bit on the extreme side, but I know this mount here that I have on my AR, the Burris Pepper mount, is quite a bit offset.
Yep, I got 2 of those. The problem with that is then I don't get a cheek weld with the Boyd stock that I have on the rifle.
Oh man, just get some fucking foam and some duct tape. Just tape the shit out of the stock, and you're good to go, bud.
I got a $240 laminated blue beautiful Boyd stock. I'm not fucking it up with duct tape and foam and shit.
Here's what you do.
I did for my 597.
Elixir, what do?
You go and get one of those camping mats that are, I don't know how much. Get some vet wrap and some moleskin, and do that.
You cut out.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All right.
He said, "Just go to Mech, buy some cheap camping mat, some moleskin, and some wrap, and just fucking go to town on that bad boy."
You know what? I could get the blue mat from Mech, and I could get the blue duct tape from Crappy Tire. I'm good.
No, not duct tape. Vet wrap.
Oh yeah,
vet wrap.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean, if it's no problem. That's what we're here to do, folks, to help each other out. Does anybody have any previous business left to talk, or shall we move on to the news?
Ready? Where are you? You see?
I guess we can go to the news.
We're going to the news. We're going to the news. What has transpired in CanadaGuns, and therefore in Canada and guns in the last, I don't know, month?
Shit posting.
Let's see. Sharing, and now, where am I? There I am. Presenting. What do we got, folks? What do we got? We got shitpost after shitpost after shitpost.
Well, except for that second one.
One exception of the link right below this. Not all men just want sex. Some men just want to go on walks and talk about how ridiculous our firearms laws are. I would agree. But here is something of note. A certain someone shot a certain someone at a certain range. And what is that range?
35-40.
35-40.
Shitting.
Hey, Adriel. That's easy to do, right, Adriel? You do that every time you go down to fucking tree gun, right, bud?
Oh, I shoot deer at 35-50 all the time. Like,
Big bragger.
Yeah, so do half the customers in my store.
Oh yeah, every deer ever shot by any guy ever has been shot at least 3 kilometers. Chad, you've made shots that far, right? 3 kilometers any day. You're
Yeah,
muted.
you got your mic muted.
That's too easy. Shoot the other way around the earth. Get them the other way. Not this close range shit.
But you gotta go and shoot in between someone's bats and ticks.
Oh no, we're not doing weeb shit on this show. No weeb shit.
The bad one, that was hilarious.
It's quite the thing. And then we have a shit post. I'm being robbed. My husband got stabbed. A solid block of aluminum. RCMP read. So many shit posts. Okay, let's see. That's another shit post. That's another shit post. That's another shit post. Not a shit post. My arsenal of freedom. See, janitor, you need a setup like this. You need a light box inside of your safe.
Do that.
You need LED lighting inside of your box.
I feel like that safe is taller than my basement.
It probably is. Hey, I have that exact same dehumidifier. Not that much ammo, though. Oh, actually, no, yeah, he's got a whole bunch of pistol ammo in there. I have a lot of shotgun ammo. That's about it. And what else do we have? Oh, yeah, Wolverine Supplies is now in CanadaGuns. The comments were about as, shit posty as expected. We have shilling, more shilling. And, oh, yeah. This will get a kick out of everybody that's ever been Canadian Gun Nuts. CanadaGuns is kind of like Canadian Gun Nuts, but in an alternate world where nobody drinks paint and says crazy shit. I don't know about you guys, but my consumption of paint is moderate at best. How about you guys?
I think you have an above-average consumption of paint compared to
No,
those people.
fumes! I have an above-average consumption of fumes. My consumption of the paint itself is not that high.
I have a whole lot of painted tube socks.
How much paint do you have, Jenner?
Oh, quite a bit. Quite a bit.
How about you boys out east? How much paint huffing happens out east? Adriel. Adriel.
Oh, right.
You guys muted yourselves, by the way.
Sorry, we're like chatting in between about this and Rico and how many gophers we're gonna shoot in the face tomorrow or the day after.
At least 3.
At least 3.
Yep.
Yes. I was just gonna ask you guys, how much paint huffing happens out east?
A lot. Out east now. I'm on it right now.
It's not paint and gas isn't a thing. We can still afford alcohol and cocaine.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Nothing but the wholesomeness of cocaine for you, you boys out east.
No, true story though. It never really became, fentanyl or
Oh, that's good.
is a problem right now in some communities, but huffing never caught on. First time I saw huffing kits was when I visited a 7-Eleven in 2009 in Winnipeg. The guy was selling at a 7-Eleven like a little bottle of some kind of solvent and a rag in a Ziploc for $5.
Nice.
Right, that was Winnipeg, so right away that explains it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Special.
Let's see. Is there anything else noteworthy aside from completely brain dead editorial writing regarding a Cabela's ad? That was fun.
CanadaGuns hits 9,000 subs.
Oh shit! I guess we're at 9,000. We're only 10,000 away from. Oh, actually, not even 10,000. We're less than 900 away from being a 10,000 member community. That's downright impressive.
All right, everybody get your thoughts.
Time to hit the bots. Other than that, I think that is it for the news. Does anybody have anything else newsworthy to bring up regarding firearms and firearms-related business in Canada?
Did you guys see the CBC story of the home invasion that happened? 3 men broke into a home. The homeowner disarmed one of them and
Shot
did some
him?
shooting.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Where was this?
It'll be interesting to follow that and see how it plays out.
But where was this?
I didn't read the story. I just saw like CBC News
I
story.
think it was in Nova Scotia.
We'll get it.
Really?
But
Somebody had to pull that up.
They said it wasn't random, so maybe some dealer was getting robbed. Who knows? It's going to be dirt on dirt for sure.
Oh yeah. No, I just remember actually something. There was another story about a self-defense shooting. Was it Toronto?
Yeah.
Toronto. In that case, the homeowner had his own firearm, shot the guy, walked out with his hands in the air, and said, "I'm the shooter." No, you're the victim, and that's what you need to identify yourself as.
Yeah, but there was only one issue. I don't think the guy was licensed, and whatever he had was on the prohib list, if I remember correctly.
That's right. Yes,
It was-
that's right.
I'm pretty sure it was a CZ858 his son owned, is what I heard.
Really? Because he got charged with possession of a prohibited device.
No, he got charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm, not possession of a prohibited firearm.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I heard what you heard.
Okay, well, then ZZ8588.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because it said it was AK-47 like. So what comes to mind when that phrase is said?
SKS.
SKS.
Could very well be
FBT.
that too.
Dragunov.
Trying to think of things that aren't prohibited.
But yeah, so that's two self-defense stories. Wow, interesting.
There's also some other news. Grouse River is shutting down.
Oh yeah, because catering to high-end clients and only stocking expensive firearms, and then everything else at above and way above market price is an excellent business model.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody ever bought from Grouse River?
Nope.
How about you boys out east? Matt, Trevor, Adriel?
Maybe the scope once. I think I got a Vortex from them not long ago.
No.
Yeah, but I can't say for sure.
Yeah, I cannot remember ever visiting their webpage. I mean, I knew of it, and I have it on my list of retailers, but I don't ever go there.
I would always go and look and dream of the expensive shit that I want to buy, but that's it.
Nice shill hat there, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. You hoping to get a sponsorship?
Yeah, I could really use it.
Yeah, Mr. 338 Lapua Magnum.
Oh, my fucking 308 costs more now.
No, fucking seriously?
Well, okay, the bullets that I'm using now are 72 for 100. So,
Or are they dipped in unicorn's blood before they fucking load them or some
Yeah.
shit?
No. Only the cleanest, most non-processed vaginal secretions from virgins.
Wow. And there's that. There's no.
There's that.
Yeah, this is the Reddit crowd. Shit gets weird really quickly here. Speaking of shit getting weird, is there anything else that we'd like to talk about before we take this to the after show?
I am actually going to do a mill circle of the week this week. I'm not
Oh my god, Mill Circle of the Week is back for what? Has been like 2-3 months?
Something. I mean, I did a SIG the last time, but it's not really a mill circ. It was kind of just like half-assing it.
Crazy, go crazy. Let's go Mill Circle.
All right, so this, for those of you who can probably already know what this is a Mauser K98. Yeah, this was the primary rifle of Nazi Germany during World War II.
I want
and
it.
A lot of places afterwards. The K98 Mauser, the development of the Mauser started a long time ago. It was actually one of the first, if not the first, bolt-action rifle, at least to be commercially successful, starting in the late 1800s. I think the 1870s is when the first ones really started coming out. I know definitely by the 1880s they were already out and in production. In terms of the Mauser action, it's being used by fucking innumerable numbers of militaries around the world. So many guns are based on it. You can find guns using a Mauser's action today. Like they still use this thing. It's a robust, well-made action. The K98 in particular started production, I believe, in 35 or so. Right around the time Hitler decided to say fuck the Treaty of Versailles is when they started production on these. Again, actually, no, it was before that because they were trying to still abide by the Treaty of Versailles by calling these no. I'm messing up my history. They started calling the G98 the K98 because they were allowed to make carbines but not rifles under the Treaty of Versailles. But then they made the K98K in the mid-30s is when they started, and that's what most K98 Mausers you'll find would be like K98 Kurz, which was Karabiner 98. Kurz was short, so it was an actual carbine. They had to call it something different, though, this time. They made like 35 million of these things, so like the production numbers of just about every other goddamn military rifle of that time. But for some reason, these ones cost a hell of a lot more compared to Mosins because most people have already bought them by now. These things have been surplused out of a number of countries in the past. You know, vet bringbacks, obviously. They were surplused from West Germany. They were surplused from East Germany. They were surplused. Most recently, the ones coming in are from Russia, Russian captured ones from the wartime there that they kept and squirreled away in storage. And those ones are usually beat to absolute shit because the Russians didn't care about guns they stole. Yeah, this particular one that I have was surplused out of East Germany. And the way I was able to tell that was by looking up the proof stamps over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that right next to my goddamn serial number, but there's some proof stamps here and here that when I looked them up said that it was East German surplus. You could see those 3 big dots that were punched in it. That was them peening the Waffen-Amts off of this rifle because obviously they wanted to dissociate themselves from Nazism before doing that. It's interesting, though, East Germany was a communist side, so to see a rifle surplus for civilian sale out of communist Germany was a bit interesting. Normally, K98s do have a sight hood over top of the front sight. This one I did have, it came with more of a Czech-style kind of blade cover that goes on both sides there, but I took that off because this thing shoots 1.5 feet high, and it was shooting really far off to the side, so I had to go and adjust the front sight on it. It's not uncommon to be missing the cleaning rods for K98s, unfortunately. You can find them available for sale separately if you really want one, but realistically, no one ever uses the cleaning rods that come with surplus rifles. Like everything else, these things are stamped on every goddamn part, and the only part I realize on this that's not matching is the base plate here and the tip up here of the muzzle, this thing here. Bayonets, from what I remember, are a little bit expensive for this. I'm not even going to bother really looking for them because it's probably like finding one for my SVT. The sights go up to 2 kilometers, like the Mosin. Very optimistic. Leather sling is period accurate. I think this is probably the actual sling from it, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, mounts in 2 places there, and then through the stock to there. Disassembly is like almost everything else. You pull the bolt release on the side here and pull the bolt out. I've never taken the bolt apart on this, so I'm not going to bother. To take the mag out, it's a bit annoying. There's a release down here that you gotta kind of press and then pry the mag up, and I'm not going to bother doing that because it's just annoying. One thing of note with the K98 in particular versus some other Mauser designs is notice how the mag is blocking the bolt from going forward. And that can be useful, obviously, in combat situations to know that, oh shit, I'm empty, I gotta go and load more rounds. A convenient thing with the Mauser is that when you put a stripper clip in there and you load it and you press the bolt forward, the bolt will eject the stripper clip out of the gun for you. So you don't even have to do it yourself. And while I did not test this on mine, I went shooting with King Burnmouth from Reddit, and we tested it in his M48 Yugo Mauser with a stripper clip I had, and it worked. So we know that it does do that. It was kind of cool to watch.
Does it fuck up the stripper clips or not?
No, they were actually designed to do that. So they're designed to have that happen.
But maybe the stripper clips were not intended to be kept around. If they're just, you know.
Stripper clip afterwards, I put it back in my pack. It looks completely fine.
Oh, okay.
In terms of who manufactured these things, goddamn, they were manufactured everywhere. Let me screen share my first screen here. So there's the unofficial K98K website, which has a lot more information than I do on this rifle and the markings. So you can see here we've got Fabryka Broni in Poland making them. Some other factory
that web page is exactly what I expect a gun dedicated web page to look like.
Yeah, you can see they usually tend to mark it here on the receiver. You know, BNZ, DOT, things like that. I'm not sure if they have the particular markings for, yes, you can see the old GU 98 for the long ones there. And then here is a list of all the codes and who manufactured them. And then, of course, the year associated with it. So mine was a BCD 43, which is right here. So that's the Gustav Werk in Weimar in 1943. From what I've been told about Gustav Werk is they used concentration camp labor. So chances are my rifle was put together by Jews to go and murder people, which is somewhat depressing. But at the same time, I believe an important part of history to consider, why these rifles were made and who made them and where they were made and the whole thing surrounding that kind of stuff. You can see here there's a lot of them. J.P. Sauer and Son, Mauser, Berlin-Lübecker. I know the Czechs made some. I think the VZ-24s were used by the Germans for a while because it was almost the same thing. I mean, it's another Mauser. But yeah, you can see by the number of factories. I mean, this does go by year as well, telling you, okay, 34 is the first time a K98 was made there, and up until 45. So you can see this does break it down by year and then by factory for that year based on the codes. So you can see why there were like 30-something million of these things made. I think it's actually more impressive when you consider the Russians had like 5 or so factories making Mosin Nagants compared to Germany having like fucking like 10 making Mausers. And the Russians managed to make about 10 million more Mosin Nagants than the Germans did. Granted, they also made them a little while longer than the Germans did for these. So it's kind of a give and take there. Let's go back to here and stop screen sharing. Jesus Christ. No, come back here and stop screen sharing. There we go. But yeah, market value for a Mauser is kind of interesting to determine. For a proper German one, the Russian captured ones are going for, even the Russian captured are going for about $800 now, and they're in pretty beat up shape. But nonetheless, I've still seen some non-Russian captured ones for sale on CGN for around the same price. But the fact that the Russian captures have gone up means that the other non-Russian captures are probably going to go up too. Obviously, depending on the collector, the Waffen-Amps are more valuable for the historical purpose of it. I would hope for the historical purpose of it. If it has any accessories, if it's a sniper model, obviously going to be worth more. The snipers are, I'm pretty sure, worth several $1,000s, like most snipers from the wartime there. Bayonets, I think, run a couple $100s. And then, of course, I don't know which factories are more rare in production, if it really matters. But obviously, if there's a particular factory that's more rare or particular markings that are more rare, that would raise the value. I think some of them, I think, are marked for the SS, and I think those ones are worth a little bit more compared to the normal ones. But yeah, no one's really bringing any more of them in. The Russian capture ones, I think, are kind of slowly drying up because of trade embargoes against Russian gun imports. But beyond that, it's not like they're impossible to find. You can find them on CGN all the time. It's just you got to pay attention because half the time people will post a K98 Mauser, they'll say, and it'll end up being a Yugoslav Mauser or a Czech Mauser or something because they just really don't know what they have. And if you're just looking for a Mauser, you can find the Yugoslavian ones pretty easy for around $450. Same thing with the Czech ones, $450 to $550 or so. Yeah, and they're almost functionally identical. It just depends on where they were made. As a matter of fact, as far as I know, some of the Yugoslavian ones were actually German K98s that the Yugoslavian government scrubbed the markings off of and restamped with the Yugoslavian crest. So you can actually find some of those that were a legit German-made K98 that were restamped for the Yugoslavian military versus the Yugoslavian M48s that were produced locally in Yugoslavia.
As always, Senor Crazy, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for that wonderful talk about Nazi gang. And regarding that comment that you made earlier, anybody that's ever been to a gun show has come across that one booth, that one table with that one guy that has a rather amusing but not so amusing quantity of Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah.
You never quite make sure. I'm never quite sure what to make of that guy.
Was there a Nazi guy at the Calgary one this year?
There was at least 3 tables with Nazi shit in the Calgary Gun Show this year. There was not a Nazi guy, per se. There was just a guy with a lot of World War II stuff that happened to have a lot of Nazi stuff, too. But among all the Nazi stuff, there was also, you know, U.S. and British and shit. But
I've got a request.
go for it.
Croker, I've got a request for the organizer of the Calgary Gun Show. I was there for the 51st a couple of years back, and all I could say is, could you just take all the militaria stuff, the collectible stuff, not even the milsurp stuff, but put them there too. Just stuff all that in one corner, kind of like behind a curtain. And if that's why I'm there, I'll know when I'll go there. But otherwise, it's like cool stuff. Oh, Nazi medals. Great. And then cool stuff. Oh, milsurps. You know, like there's no rhyme or reason. It attracts a very specific client. So lump it all together in one corner and let them go over there. And I can either choose to avoid it or go right there because it doesn't really fit with everything else. It's a gun show, but there's a bust of Hitler on a fucking table. What is that about?
Okay, even when I went to the gun show in Orillia, I wanted to bust a fucking Hitler. But I wish we had gun shows that big in Ontario that we could do shit like that. Like,
dude, the Calgary Gun Show. You've been to a convention hall, right? Like an anime con or some shit like that, right? it's that big, dude. Like the Calgary Gun Show is that big. It's the big four. No, it's the BMO Center. It's 3 halls side by side. All the divisions are moved away, and it's packed wall to wall with gun shit.
Yeah, because like the biggest one in Ontario is at Orangeville, and it's just like the Orangeville Fairground has like a bunch of fuds selling old shotguns for way too much money.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Calgary the biggest one in Canada.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
And thank God for Calgary, Alberta.
Yep. It was great.
Yeah,
I was watching people coming out of that building all day with guns and garbage bags. Everybody goes to buy a gun, but no one brings a case. So all the vendors have garbage bags wrapped in, and then they wrap it up in this stuff, green Packers tape, and a garbage bag, and off you go.
Yep.
I remember doing that with a pellet gun when I got it from a buddy's place because I had to walk past a school because that's where I parked. I didn't want someone calling the cops on me.
So funny story. A couple of weeks ago when I was on the way to the range with my friends, I had to stop by a business to pick up a check that was in the same parking lot as a school. And so I pull up in my bright red pickup truck with the bed packed with guns and ammo cans, all discreetly packed away in cases, so nothing was clearly visible, but still, you know, all it would take was somebody walking right next to the truck, looking in the bed of the truck and seeing a gratuitous amount of firearms for me to end up in the ground and, you know, getting acquainted with, you know, padded knee.
Swatted.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the Calgary Gun Show was a lot of fun this year. January, I'm happy to say that I know somebody that picked up a VZ58 brand new in the box for $750. So you don't get to get that title of having the cheapest VZ58 that I know of this year. Yeah, no, my buddy was in the hall specifically looking for non-restricted mag-fed, not stripper clip-fed rifle for about $600-700, and I was like, dude, you're not gonna find one. That's 3-4-year-old prices for VZs, CZs. And as I'm walking around by myself, Elixir, you were there, and I get a call, and he goes, hey, Kroger, there's a guy here selling a brand new in the box VZ58 with 2 mags for $750. And I whip my head around and I go, where the fuck are you? Pick it up right now. Just pay him. Pay him. Go get the money. Go get the money right now and give him your money. Take your money, give it to him. And I'm kind of proud of myself. When I got there, I didn't, you know, knock on my friend and pay instead for him and take the gun for myself.
I totally would have.
When I was down at the range, someone had an ad posted selling a CZ858 for $650. And rather than call, I just looked at it and I went, this is at Silverdale. Someone's already bought this by now. Never mind.
I would have called anyways.
My question would be, what's wrong with it?
What was that?
My question would be, what's wrong with it?
That's exactly
Very valid question.
that is exactly what I said when I came across a mint condition Dan Wesson Model 15 through 57 Magnum with a 6-inch barrel on the table at the Calgary Gun Show for $425.
What? How many squibs did he had in it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I walked there, I picked it up, and I go, "Wow, $425." And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Awesome. What's wrong with it?"
Yeah.
And the guy's, "Nothing." This guy, this will tell you exactly why he had listed for this price. I know that it was a double single action revolver. I cocked the hammer and I clicked and he goes, "Oh, see, you know." And then I pulled the hammer and it went click and he goes, "Oh, I didn't know that was double action."
Oh,
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, I didn't buy it because I only had money enough to purchase an absurd amount of reloading supplies. I picked up all my reloading supplies at the Calgary Gun Show. I picked up, I think, 1,000 projectiles from my 44, shitload of speed loaders and speed loader pouches, which was about $400 or $500 worth of stuff. If I hadn't found that, I would have definitely picked up that fucking Dan Wesson. I still think about that gun because even if I didn't want it, I could have flipped that easily for $750 or $800.
I would have probably forgone the reloading stuff and just bought the Dan Wesson.
Yeah, like the thing is, dude, I already have an absurd 357. I don't need a very, very, very pretty
Yeah, but
357.
you can make like $200 on that 357.
Yeah,
So
Flip it.
I know, dude. Don't fucking. I think about Dan Wesson often. Okay, I really do. I also think often about the M44, the Polish M44 that I came across on the Calgary Gun Show about 3 years ago for $400. Because that was market prices then, but you know what market prices are now for a Polish M44 in good condition?
somewhere around $800-900, I think.
Yep. They have
One of my
double.
coworkers has one.
They have double in price in 3 years. It's ridiculous.
One of my coworkers has one. He brought it in just to find a case for it at work, and I'm like, "Ooh, Polish M44."
Yeah. What's notable about Polish M44s is that I think they were unissued. I think they made them and then they stuck them in a crate.
It was certainly in very close to unissued condition, if unissued. Like, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. The wood on it is particularly blonde wood. It's not as dark as the shellac that you see in Russian Mosins. And the big 44 that they have stamped on the receiver looks really, really almost comical, like a Comic Sans font. But
it's,
you know what?
It's still not a 9143.
Nope. Folks, is there anything else that we would like to hit before we call this a night? Well, if that's the case, I would like to thank our guests from Slamfire Radio. Folks, thank you so much for visiting. Why don't you give us some parting thoughts about what the Canada Guns talk show is like for you?
What? What?
What'd you think of the show? Is it garbage or not?
No, it's awesome. I love it. I like the whole just kind of casual chat about stuff and see where the conversation goes.
Look,
I like that sort of thing.
I've been on worse shows with better people.
You know what? I'll take that as a compliment.
all right.
No, man, it was good. It was good.
Good.
We're trying to play with guns and hang out with you guys at the same time. So we
No,
didn't.
that's fine. We're about to do that in an even more informal way in a few seconds.
All right, perfect.
Oh, you get more informal. Oh, wow.
Oh, fuck yeah, but the beer's coming out soon. Dude, there has been nudity on this show before.
Wait, there has?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Well, you guys keep sending me those pictures of that dick wrapped around a bike chain, so...
I think it's time to go to the after show.
Well, going for the after show. Thank you, everybody. Say good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
This has been the Canada Guns Talk Show, episode 46. See you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.